So I wanted to show everyone my thought process around planning your ad creatives for whenever you promote your product or you're promoting your service. It's going to be more tailored to promoting a product, obviously, because of the supplement business. So for a little bit of context, if anyone's just new to the channel, I'm documenting the journey of growing the next big men's supplement business, looking to try and reshape the industry in a better direction. That's the simplified version. There's a bit of a deeper meaning to it, but we'll save that for another video. Anyway, so when looking at actually putting together your ad, one of the first steps, which I've got from this book here, $100 Million Leads, which you need to read because it is unreal value in terms of understanding advertising and promoting your stuff. So going back to the ad side of things, the first step that I would always do now, from now on, now that I know this, is study ads. And so, I mean, obviously you can do this one time and then you can have it in your head, but it's always good to be able to do a refresher. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself moving forward, right? And so when I say studying ads, it's another concept that comes from the book. But as you can see here, so I've got an ad up here from someone in the supplement industry that's promoting within Australia, because that's my first target audience that I'm going to be launching to. So if we exit out of this video quickly, you will see that this is the Facebook ad library of all the ads that are running at the moment in Australia related to the keyword supplement. Now you can keep going through keywords. You can start naming target audience features. You can start naming USPs about your product. You can start naming certain phrases that relate to your target audience or your category or your industry. It's limitless, but that's beside the point. What you also want to do is you understand this from the framework of reading this section in the book, but basically you can break down studying your ad creatives through 3 different core areas, and they do break down further, but the 3 main areas would be your call out. So what's reeling people in within those first 3 seconds, most people would call that the hook. And then you actually analyze the value elements of the ad. So that's typically in the body of the ad, the middle bit between the hook and the CTA, where people usually list through the benefits, maybe the unique selling propositions, and really build a bit of an understanding around the product and why people should be interested. And so then you obviously, to wrap it up, you would have a look at the call out. So those are the main core 3. So when looking at studying the ads, and I'm actually doing this right now. So this is why I wanted to spontaneously pick the video camera up and actually start explaining this, because it's fresh in my mind. And showing my knowledge on things isn't an ego push. It's more helping me remember it myself. So I use these as refreshers and ways to strengthen my memory on these topics. So anyway, going back to the important part of the video. So when looking at the ad creative, right, particularly when we're looking at the hooks, we're looking at certain things that are being used as call outs for getting your attention or making you want to actually stay on the ad. So for example, if I was to look at this ad that I'm looking at now, the first 3 to 5 seconds would be that call out period. So if we have a look.
Are you dreaming of a pre-workout that genuinely helps you reach your goals?
So those 4 seconds there would be the call out section. And so there's certain bits that you can analyze within the book. So there's different types of call outs that the book refers to that you can start to look at in your ads. So for example, there's a few different ones. They can be either verbal or non-verbal call outs, which I'll explain further in a second. But when we're talking about verbal call outs, it's typically the subtitles and the copy that's being spoken in the ad, for example. And so that's what is in these first 4 seconds. So the first 4 seconds of this one was, are you dreaming of a pre-workout that's genuinely giving you results, or something paraphrased like that, right? And so when you look at that, that is described in the book as what's called yes questions. So yes questions can be a way that you can actually use as a call out to be able to get people hooked on watching the rest of your ad. So for example, if you're in the weight loss industry, you would frame a question that says, are you really struggling to lose weight? And so that's a yes question, because the person on the other side of the ad would be looking at that and saying, well, yeah, I am. And so they are curious about it and want to keep watching your ad. So this is the same concept. I would say this is done a little bit sloppy, but again, I haven't really run ads before. So this is probably better than what I can do at the moment. But with that said, I'm also confident that I could do better than this. But anyway, that is just one of ways that you can look at call outs. And then when we're talking about non-verbal, I don't want to go too deep into it just because you should read the book and you'll be able to understand it better. But non-verbal call outs is typically stuff that catches your eye visually. Maybe it's got background music. Maybe the person in the video is attractive. If we're looking at, for a guy, it might be a woman, or I'm not going to go into that topic. But anyway, yeah. And so that can be verbal and non-verbal call outs. That's typically the hook side of things. When we're looking at the value elements, now this is the bulk of the ad, and this is also where you do bulk of your analysis on your ad. So when you're studying, Alex Hormozi talks about 3 key parts of a framework. So he obviously seems to be working in 3s, but he looks at the who, when, what framework. No, the who, what, when, sorry, my apologies. So when we're looking at that, the who is looking around a status-driven area. So it's more about who are you also attracting in terms of if you're taking a product. So in my case, if I'm taking a supplement and I'm my customer and I'm taking my supplement, is that giving me status in the group? For example, if LeBron takes the same supplement I'm selling, the person that takes it is going to feel associated to LeBron. And so there's that status there amongst their group. Maybe your quick turnaround in terms of improving your health inspires the people around you to actually improve their health. So there's status there as well. So that who can be a part of your ad to be able to say, for example, this supplement here can make you, change your life for the better and inspire those around you to do the same. And so that's more of a status-driven place where it really plays on that who element of the framework. When we're looking at the what side of things, it's basically the value equation in Alex Hormozi's book. And so I'm not going to go into that too in depth, but there's about 8 core elements when we're looking at the advertising side of things that plays on what makes a really good offer. And then those 4 components get reverted into the opposite. And so you basically play on those and study them in your ad. Now, this isn't going to make so much sense unless you've read the book, but that's why I'm putting emphasis that you need to read this book, because this thing is unreal. I've literally written so much in here on every free space and highlighted and underlined so many different terms that it's actually crazy how much I've got from this. And I could not be a bigger advocate for this book if I even tried, and I'm not even finished it yet. So pretty much this was just a little bit of a real scrambled explanation of my thought process to moving forward with when I start putting my ads together. So I'm going to dedicate a lot of my time. This is now probably going to become one of my unlimited tasks, but sitting here and studying different ads of my competitors and also ads in general that either perform really well or really bad. And so I will use this book and what it's teaching me about studying ads in a certain way as a tool to be able to help me understand what works, what doesn't, how can I improve this based off what I see in other people's ads. And so this will be able to serve as a good way for me to be able to burst out the doors with paid ads and actually have some decent ads without losing too much money up front. Now, again, I say that I'm not fussed about losing too much money up front when it comes to ads, but all it does is by doing this now, learning this as much as I possibly can, not only it's up here to quickly explain, but at the same token, it means that I'm going to get a winning ad creative quicker. It's not so much about the money side of things, but it's the fact that I can get to the end goal of a really good ad creative that is printing money and printing sales quicker. And so I'm going to leave that there. But if there's one, I'm going to give a call to action to this video because I have nothing to sell people. But my one call to action is go get $100 million leads. It's an unreal book and I'm not even finished. So I'm going to leave it there before the video cuts out because I think I don't have enough storage on this phone. But yes, just to sum up, sit there, read the book, understand this section of analyzing and studying ads, put together your own document and spend time, especially if you're a product-based business, to sit here and study ads. Compare what you know from the book, write out your notes, compare each ad creative that you look towards, and then start to think in your head as a mental note of how you can pivot to do better or how you can mirror what you already see to be working in other people's ads. So I'm going to leave that there and I'll probably film another video later when I have another mindset shift or something interesting pops up or another huge win. So I'm going to leave it there. Ciao.